A couple of hours after today's show was recorded, word broke of the passing of Katie Cotton, former VP of Worldwide Corporate Communications for Apple under Steve Jobs during his second term at the company. While the news only hit Monday, she actually died last Thursday, the 6th of April, according to her obituary. No cause of death has been shared, though it sounds to have been an illness of some sort. The obituary says she passed peacefully, surrounded by family and close friends. A piece on Cotton from Apple Insider refers to her tenure at Apple as controversial, noting her handling of secretive information pertaining to products, scandals, and Steve Jobs' health. At the same time, the piece says she was seen as one of the most powerful executives at Apple as she worked under Steve Jobs to curate the culture of secrecy the company is known for today. In a statement, Apple marked the news, saying, "We are deeply saddened by Katie's passing. She was an extraordinary person and she made countless contributions over the course of her 2-decade career at Apple. Our thoughts are with her loved ones and everyone who had the opportunity to work with her." Cotton spent 18 years at Apple before retiring in 2014. A private funeral will be held this Friday in her home state of New Jersey. Her obituary says a celebration of life will take place in the Bay Area in the coming months.
This is Mac OS Ken.
The recent fall of the personal computer, news of a bigger, smaller Mac, and still more security updates. It is Tuesday, the 11th of April, 2023. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplisafe.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. If you're looking for good news, try this. On just about every earnings call, Apple says that roughly half the people who bought a Mac in the previous quarter were new to the platform, or words to that effect. It's a thing to remember if you're looking for good news, because man alive was news for the personal computer space bad on Monday. Probably not unexpected, still not good. Market tracker Canalys said Monday that global PC shipments suffered a drop of 33% in the first quarter of 2023. IDC's top line read in part, "PC pain persists in first quarter of 23. And if you expect Apple to be the shining star in this scenario, you will want to reset those expectations. IDC says Apple's global PC shipments were down just over 40% for the first quarter versus the same quarter a year ago. That is better than the Canalys take, which had Mac shipments down 45%. So what's working against the personal computer? Well, I read somewhere, and I'm sorry, I can't remember where and I can't find it, but I read somewhere that last quarter presented an ugly comparison for PC makers. You're comparing the March quarter of 2023 to the March quarter of 2022, when companies and individuals were still working from home and buying like they were. 1 year later, economic uncertainty has slowed buying considerably. Canalys senior analyst Ishan Dutt is quoted in the firm's release saying, "Demand across all customer segments remains dampened, with more pressure arising from further interest rate increases in the U.S., Europe, and other markets, where reducing inflation is a top priority. Consumers and businesses will remain cautious about outlays on new PCs in the short term, with significant market recovery only expected to kick in during the fourth quarter of 2023. Personally, I wondered whether the lack of new Macs had led to Apple's sharp drop. However, a quick check of the Cupertino company's online newsroom reminded me about the M2 Pro and M2 Max-powered MacBook Pro models introduced in January, along with the M2 and M2 Pro-powered Mac Mini. So yeah, I guess it's the economy and the tough compare. Both IDC and Canalys see similar keys to recovery ahead. That's not for the Mac specifically, but for the personal computer segment as a whole. Turning again to Canalys, Analyst Dutt says the PC market has strong fundamentals to drive long-term growth, with shipment volumes higher than in the pre-pandemic era, a much larger installed base post-COVID-19, the transition to Windows 11, and both refresh and new demand from digital education will all be key drivers as the global economy enters a period of recovery in 2024 and beyond. IDC's Lin Huang, VP of Research for that firm's Devices and Displays unit, speaks along a similar line, though a bit less optimistically. Huang's quoted in the IDC release saying, by 2024, an aging installed base will start coming up for refresh. If the economy is trending upwards by then, we expect significant market upside as consumers look to refresh, schools seek to replace worn-down Chromebooks, and businesses move to Windows 11. If recession in key markets drags on into next year, recovery could be a slog. Whether fighting the present computer lull or anticipating a recovering future, talk of the fabled 15-inch MacBook Air has resurfaced. A piece from Mac Rumors has display analyst Ross Young saying panel production for Apple's bigger, little laptop is underway. Started in February, accelerated in March, and is expected to ramp up again this month, according to the analyst. He's not sure precisely when the machine will launch, though the piece has Young seeing late April or early May as possibilities. For its part, Mac Rumors seems to discount both this month and next month as probabilities. Oh, possible, sure, though it makes more sense to the site for Apple to wait for WWDC, which is now under 2 months away. Whatever the case, though, the report says it sounds like a larger MacBook Air is coming in the first half of this year. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, SimpliSafe, the right way to protect your home. Pick out the pieces you need to give you peace of mind. One of the things I love about SimpliSafe is the level of control it gives you. If you want a system that'll cover you top to bottom, front door to back, inside and out, they have packages ready to go. If, on the other hand, you want to pick just the components you feel you need to keep yourself safe, you can build your own package in minutes. I like that level of control. And I like how easy it is to set the whole thing up. Took me well under an hour to install and activate my sensors, keypad, and base station myself. All that plus 24/7 professional monitoring for under $1 a day are reasons I think you will love SimpliSafe as well. But check them out for yourself. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/macOSken. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. SIMPLI. That's simplysafe.com/macOSken. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Still more security updates from out Cupertino way. I told you yesterday of security fixes found in last Friday's releases of iOS, iPadOS, and Safari 16.4.1, as well as macOS 13.3.1. While the Safari update should help safeguard older Macs, it apparently doesn't do as much as Apple would like. And besides, what about the older iPhones and iPads? Answers to all of that hit Monday. A piece from Apple Insider says Apple started the week by releasing iOS 15.7.5, iPadOS 15.7.5, macOS Monterey 12.6.5, and macOS Big Sur 11.7.6. According to the report, the OS updates for iPhone and iPad fix a WebKit vulnerability reportedly being exploited in the wild. The macOS updates address the same issue, as well as one for I/O Surface Accelerator. That vulnerability is also believed to be actively exploited, according to the report. And finally today, news of another trailer for an upcoming Apple TV Plus show. Late last week, the Cupertino streamer let fly with a promo for the dystopian future series Silo. Based on Hugh Howey's New York Times best-selling trilogy, the release says Silo is the story of the last 10,000 people on Earth, their mile-deep home protecting them from the toxic and deadly world outside. However, no one knows when or why the silo was built, and any who try to find out face fatal consequences. Dune's Rebecca Ferguson stars, along with Common, David Oyelowo, Rashida Jones, Tim Robbins, and more. The first 2 episodes of the 10-episode series hit Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 5th of May. New episodes will follow 1 per week through the end of June. Between now and then, you can catch the trailer on YouTube. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.